Welcome to Wednesday's Inside Look by Brooks. Steve Brooks here along with my co-host Beach Brooks III. How are you, Beach?
Doing pretty well. How are you doing, Steve?
Doing good. I had a skin cancer cut off about a week ago. Just a wake-up reminder that I need to wear a hat. And, I grew up here in Florida and skied on our lake probably every day for the first 15 years of my life. So I've probably got some more of these in my future. But be careful, especially with, having fair skin, and you definitely want to be careful.
And I think it's smart for everyone in Florida to at least have a yearly checkup with a dermatologist to get it before it gets too bad.
Yeah. So today I wanted to talk about talcum powder. Talcum powder is something that, we all grew up with. There's, powder. I use it for foot powder. I know women use it for sanitary purposes, and it's been part of our culture for years and years and years. But talcum in the powder has been shown to be potentially carcinogenic and to be found in cancerous tumors, and especially for women's ovaries. And so there have been numerous cases filed, and there have been numerous verdicts. As recently as a few weeks ago, there was a $5 billion verdict against Johnson and Johnson. And so, have you run into any of those cases in Tampa Beach?
Yeah, we come across them. I know there are certain criteria that patients or clients have to meet to be, a potential candidate for recovery. Do you want to discuss those a little bit?
Sure, and we take these cases. We have an inventory of them. We work with the other law firms who are on the steering committee for the mass torts. And so this is something we are actively involved with. So if you meet any of the criteria that Beach and I are about to discuss, feel free to reach out to me, Steve at brookslawgroup.com, or Beach III at brookslawgroup.com, and we'll be glad to process your case. We are like I said, actively marketing and taking in these cases. So they are going to be valuable cases. So why don't you go through the criteria, Beach?
I know you had to use the powder daily for 4 years. You had to be diagnosed with ovarian cancer or fallopian tube cancer. You have to be between age of 21 and 80 at the time of diagnosis, and the diagnosis had to have occurred after 2008. Now, for some reason, you do not meet, one of those criteria. I still recommend you give us a call because maybe we can dig down further and answer any questions you may have, and you still may have a potential claim. So anybody that's, has used talcum powder and has been diagnosed with either ovarian cancer or fallopian tube cancer, I highly recommend you guys give us a call because we can sort of talk through the other criteria and see if you do in fact have a case. I know these cases are actively ongoing, and I tell everyone we need to get in line. We need to make sure that we're doing everything possible to get our client the best possible result because I know, like you mentioned earlier, these verdicts and these settlements have ranged from millions of dollars to billions of dollars. Just because you do not meet one of those criteria does not mean that you may not have a case. I still recommend that you pick up the phone, speak to either Steve or I, and that way we can dig down deeper to see what we are able to do for you.
Sure. And you have to understand the way that mass torts work. I mean, you can't come in expecting to get $1 billion for your case. What happens is the plaintiff's bar takes the very best of the best cases, and they actually take those to trial. And those best of the best of the best cases that get the big verdicts are what help the average claimant, thousands of average claimants bring their claims in a mass tort way, such that there is a settlement for everybody. Um, it is interesting, though, that there have been such massive verdicts in these cases. It's just incredible. But the damages, the life effect, the way that this has damaged and killed many women has is obviously reflected in the size of those verdicts. So, and you have to understand that many of those verdicts include multiple claimants, in one case. So that's not for a single plaintiff. Um, like Beach said, we are actively taking the cases, and if you meet the criteria, and I think it was diagnosed after 2005, not 2008. If you
Oh,
meet,
sorry, 2005.
yeah, if you meet those four criteria, give us a call. We will definitely, start working on your case. And like Beat said, if you don't meet the criteria, call us anyway. We'll see if we can work around it. Um, if you have any questions about the criteria or questions about tout cases in any way, again, reach out to Beat or I by email or phone, and we'll be glad to chat with you. Um,
Steve, I know we're specifically talking talcum powder cases today, but we do handle other mass tort cases. You want to sort of want to describe to the listeners out there what other type of mass tort cases we are currently handling?
yeah, so we handle roundup cases. Roundup is beginning to come to a head. So if you've got a roundup case, you can go to our website and kind of look at the criteria. We also do hernia mesh, and if you go to our website, you'll see the current mass torts we're doing. Um, if you have a hip implant, there's some metal on metal metallosis that occurs in some type of hip implants that we still handle. So yeah, check out our website and let us know if you have a case on any of those products. And thank you for bringing that up, Beach. A mass tort claim. When we talk about a mass tort claim, you think class action where you all get in one class and thousands of people make a claim. Mass torts is kind of like class action, but it's not class action. Mass torts is a bunch of individual claims grouped together, and that maybe acts like a class, but they're still not technically a class action, and they excuse me, and there's a steering committee appointed, and some of the top plaintiffs firms that are handling that mass torts are on the steering committee, and they kind of steer those massive cases along the same path because they're all going to have the same issues. Like the steering committee will meet with the one federal judge assigned to this particular product, and that federal judge will help narrow issues for those cases represented by those attorneys. And so it's a way to efficiently and productively narrow issues and move a large mass of cases forward without having to have a judge go in and decide all those separate issues on each separate case. Um, but
Really for judicial efficiency, so the cases can move, through at sort of equal speed. If we were trying to do every single one of these cases individually, the courthouse would just be flooded and nothing would be able to be done. So for judicial efficiency, they sort of put them all together, like Steve was saying, to narrow down the issues. So then hopefully the individual cases can get resolved.
absolutely, that's a great way to say it. So we've been involved in the mass torts arena. I'm in a mastermind group with firms that are very, very heavily into this. I've I've been to many seminars across the country on mass torts. So it's something that's kind of near and dear to my heart. And we would love to work with you on your mass tort case if you have a defective product or you've taken a defective drug or product like talcum powder. So I think that's it for today's talcum powder talk. Anything you want to add, Beach?
No, just once again, if you have any questions about what Steve and I talked about today, don't hesitate to go to our website, liftthebrooks.com, shoot Steve and I an email or give us a call. We'll be happy to answer any questions you guys may have.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And thank you for joining us today. And we look forward to seeing you next Wednesday. I hope to have my bandage off by then. And hopefully, we'll just talk about something non-law next week, a little less legally intense. But have a great weekend, and we'll look forward to seeing you for Wednesday's Inside Look by Brooks. Thanks.